I always say I don't know why people don't use prop firms. And obviously, if you find a reputable firm like yourselves, I think it's a no-brainer. When you get the opportunity to leverage a small amount of money to gain access to a larger amount of money, I think, you would kind of be out of your mind not to choose that.
Okay, welcome everybody to another funded trader of TradethePool. Today, David is with me on the line. How you doing? Thanks for coming.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
Cool. So David passed the evaluation, the $20,000 of buying power, basically, the mini buying power as we call it. David will take us through it and just explain how he passed the evaluation, what he did right and wrong, so you guys at home can learn from it and become the next funded trader. So David, let's dive straight to it. This is not your first evaluation, of course, right? You did a few attempts.
Yep.
What was the difference between the one that you failed and the one that you managed to pass?
Personally, I just think it's more intention. I learned a lot by taking the other ones that I failed, which I made a couple of mistakes. Obviously, you learn things throughout the process. And I just think it's just a culmination of, all the efforts and things and best practices that I didn't do in the other evaluations that I input into this evaluation that allowed me to pass it. So it was just a learning experience for me.
Yeah, 100%. Probably getting used to the rules, the
Yep.
trading platform, tweaking some of it. Are you trading your own capital as well on a broker account?
No, I'm not.
Okay. But have you tried before or?
Yes, I have.
Okay. Do you see any differences, like main differences between trading on TradethePool and a broker account?
Are you talking about the rules?
No, but generally, your feeling when it comes to trading your own capital compared to trading on our capital and other
Yeah, I
aspects
mean,
like
it's a no-brainer. I always say I don't know why people don't use prop firms. And obviously, if you find a reputable firm like yourselves, I think it's a no-brainer. When you get the opportunity to leverage a small amount of money to gain access to a larger amount of money, I think, you would kind of be out of your mind not to choose that.
yeah, 100%. I'm biased, but I can definitely agree with that. Amazing, David. Let's go through your dashboard and show the guys at home how it looks like. For those of you not familiar, every trader gets his own dashboard and you can basically track your stats and see the progress. I'm going to share my screen and show the dashboard and walk us through it. Just tell us a little bit about what you went through. So here it is. This is it. So like I said, you traded the $20,000 buying power. You have a profit target that you needed to reach, daily pause, max loss. Pretty solid chart once you found your rhythm. Tell us a little bit about the strategy. What are you looking for and how you operate it?
Yeah, so I like to trade what I call the large cap gap and go. So it's basically I get in here in the morning, I look for the top gainers on the day, and I'm filtering those stocks for only the bigger companies, so large cap stocks. So I'm looking for stocks with a catalyst, earnings, press release, mergers, contract wins, whatever the case may be. I'm looking for stocks with a catalyst. So when I understand their catalyst and I really go in and I look for a setup and I look for a various amount of setups. When I actually was taking the evaluation, I was actually looking for a different setup that I am looking for now, but the principles are the same. The way I filter for stocks, the way I add stocks to my watch list, all the stocks, all the process I mean is the same.
Okay, interesting to see. I mean, I'm looking at the chart here and mostly the numbers. It's 2.3 and 46% success rate, 2.3 on the risk reward. And so you're looking for breakouts, but as we know, breakouts has a low profitability or at least
Mhm.
lower success rate. But you do hold your trades a little bit longer than most traders that at least that I see that using breakout strategies. So tell me a little bit about that. How do you handle your position basically?
Yeah, so what I'm looking for is basically a trending day. So I don't buy breakouts. I actually get in on a dip. I look for it
Mhm.
to pull the stock to pull back in the morning. I look for an entry, above VWAP or relative to VWAP, and I try to just hold for the duration of the move. If it makes another 2 to 5% move on the day, I want to hold for the entirety of that move. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't.
Okay, so the breakout is actually from the daily chart, from the hourly chart,
The daily chart, yep.
and then intraday, are you using a 1 minute, 5 minutes, 15?
I'm using a 1.
1 minute for the dips, and then basically the pullbacks of the breakouts, right?
Yep.
Okay, amazing. That sounds great. And like you said, you mostly trade in like big movers. Are you using a specific scanner, like on Trader Evolution, our platform, or are you using one of our partners?
So I've been trading for a while. So when I first got into trading, my brokerage was Webull, and I think they have a very good screener on their platform. So I've just gotten used to it, and I've been using it ever since.
Okay, nice. So all the analysis you been done on their side, and then you just executed. Amazing. So tell me a little bit about the experience you had with us. I mean, you reached the target. How was the feeling there?
I don't know. It was an exciting feeling. I'll tell you that. Obviously, going through a couple of failures and finally accomplishing one of your goals is definitely a good feeling. I wouldn't say I was like jumping off the wall so excited because I don't know. That's just not my
Stats and see the
personality. But
progress.
it was definitely a sense of accomplishment. Every trader's dream is to become consistently profitable and to prove themselves that they can
Yeah.
be something and make it in this market. So I just think that was just a testament to, you know, hey, David, you can actually do something with this. And I was proud of myself.
Yeah, definitely should be proud. And like you said, it's one thing to reach the target and become funded, but it's also give you that tapping on the shoulder, right? And telling you, you know what, you did it. You know what you're doing. Continue to do what you do. So that's incredible feedback to get, on yourself. I saw your funded account Israel is already in a profit of a few $100s. Are you using the same methodology or the same tactics as you did on the evaluation?
For the most part, I use the same process on how I'm sorting through stocks, how I'm filtering and adding stocks to my watch list, but the trade execution is a tad bit tweaked.
Okay. And what is it that you feel like, you need to craft it a little bit more, tweak it?
Yeah, so if you realize in the evaluation phase, I had a pretty good risk to reward. And just think generally speaking, every trader has strengths and weaknesses. I would definitely say risk management is one of my strengths. Where I, can improve on a lot, I would say, is just taking more higher probability setups. So I've realized over the course of, the evaluation, my trading career, and especially in this funded phase, there's a lot of reversals that happen, especially in uncertain markets. So
Yeah.
holding for the duration of the day may not be in my best interest for long-term sustainability. So now I've started to, take more shorter term trades, more scalps, so to speak, get in and out of the market very quickly. And I'm still working on that win rate a little bit, but I'm finding my rhythm so slowly but surely.
Amazing. That's incredible. Tell me a little bit about the start. You said you've been in trading for a while. What got you in first place? The
Yeah,
start.
so I started years ago, actually, 2019. I was a senior in high school, and it was the teacher. It was economics class. Just said, "Hey, let's play a stock market game." We had to compete against people in our class, but also the entire school, and I've just been hooked ever since. The ability to just make a living and make a career from the internet or from the markets was very appealing to me as a child, but is more appealing to me now as I've gotten older.
So you started at 2019, you said?
Yes, sir.
And how did you feel when you saw the market crashed on 2020 and on COVID?
It wasn't great, but I always say, like, I am not really too focused on the overall market just because I'm in and out every day. If
Hmm.
it presents me an opportunity on the day because of that
Yeah.
crash, then I'll take advantage of it. But I'm not really too concerned about what the overall market does.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. When it comes to day trading, you close your position at the end of the day and you're done. And this is probably one of the stuff that got me also to go into day trading when I started, just to sleep tight
Yeah,
and,
yeah, for
and
sure.
don't have
It
to worry
definitely gives
about,
you.
yeah. Amazing, David. That was a great interview and a great insight that you gave to the guys that listen in. And of course, if you have questions for David, feel free to drop them in the comments. And yeah, that's it. If you want to become a funded trader, go to tradethepool.com. Check us out. You got 14 days free trial to test the system, to understand the rules. Take your time to read about everything that you need. And also, we got a great Discord community where you can ask lots of questions and just see the other guys how they do that, right? So good luck with that. Thanks, David, again, and we'll be in touch. Bye for now.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Michael.